Game mode adjustment. Okay, now we are getting to controversial stuff. PvE mode will only support units, unit levels 1 to 5. Restore unit level 4 and 5 battle gains in PvE. Yeah, so the issue was that PvP was pretty much non-existent on tier 4 and 5, 3, 4, 5 in European prime time, right? I don't know really in Chinese prime time because I wasn't playing it at prime time. I assume probably it was there were battles like that, but a lot of people have come to our Discord or to my YouTube comments saying that, you know, how are you guys finding battles, PvP battles? I cannot find any, and I'm trying on tier 3, 4, 5, right? So just tell them, well, until you're tier 5, go up for PvE and start queuing up for PvP starting with tier 5, because that's when you can actually start fighting the battles. But I must say, I am very much not a fan of this adjustment, because it just treats people unfairly. It rewards people who have abused grinding in PvE in the early stages of the game, rather than playing PvP. And now you're punishing people who are playing PvP all this time and rewarding people who are playing PvE all this time. So you're essentially rewarding the bad guys and punishing the good guys. It's like they already unlocked their tier 10s. They have tier 10 whatever the hell they want, the commanders, maybe even all tier 10s, right? Because farming was so easy, right? And if I just dedicated myself to PvE only, it was like, fuck PvP, I'm just going PvE, I'm gonna grind my Christian archers and whatever else I want, heli, cataphracts, everything. I would have gotten them by now. But no, I was playing PvP. And now I'm getting punished for it, while all people who just ignored PvP and grinded the shit out of PvE, ruining the PvP experience and, you know, extending the queue times to such ridiculously long lengths, and ruining the experience for everybody else because of that, they get rewarded. Are you fucking kidding me, CA, right now? Are you fucking kidding me? Do you know how to treat your customers, your players, friendly? Because this is unfriendly, anti-consumer practice, to be honest. I would love for that to be the case since the very first day. But since on the very first day you fucked up and did what you did with the PvE gains, well, you just got to fucking stick to it. You just got to stick to it. You cannot just now reverse switch like, oh yeah, nobody will mind. Because people will mind. I mind. And I'm sure I will not be the only one. So what I would do instead, I would keep the PvE up to tier 10, because it also is an issue of right now, if I unlock my tier 8s, right? I unlock tier 8, and the only option I have to play tier 8 is in PvP. And I get matched against tier 10s, and I get absolutely crushed, and my player experience is ruined. And sure, I will stick, I won't mind that much. But a lot of people who are more casual than I am will mind. Because I know they minded during wargaming. They minded during Steam. There were, you know, voices of discontent within the community on forums, etc. I was like, hey, I'm entering matchmaking with my tier 8 units, and I'm just getting crashed by fully upgraded tier 10 units, and there's nothing for me to do. Same case for tier 9, to be honest. Like, freshly unlocked tier 9 is just getting crashed 10 times out of 10, pretty much, by fully upgraded tier 10 units. And yeah, sure, you can outplay the enemy, but it's not an even playing field. It's not even remotely close to being even. Like, good luck fighting, getting an arch duel, tier 8 or tier 9 versus tier 10 Christian archers. Good luck. Christian archers just outrange you. So, and tier 9s are slow, so you cannot even close that gap. Tier 8s are just straight up trash. And that's the case with archers, but it's the case with any other. I mean, with melee infantry, there is even less potential of output because you just right-click, right? You can flank. Sure, if you flank the enemy, you rout him and you win. But, again, it's 3v3. Usually it's hard to flank, and if your opponent isn't an idiot, then, yeah, he's not gonna get flanked and routed easily. But yeah, that's you know, details. So, what I would do, I would keep PvE up to tier 10 and keep the high rewards of PvE, but increase the rewards of PvP even higher. So I would double, if not triple, the PvP gains. So if you play a PvP battle, at the end of it, you're getting like 5,000 experience with premium, right? So it would be, what, 3,500 regular XP. And that would be good, because people, hey, progress in PvP is so much faster. But if I need it, the PvE is also there. If I want to avoid getting crashed by tier 10 full upgraded foreman parties, I can always just go into PvE, grind my way up to tier 10 until I can match them on the unit level, and then I can go into PvP and fight them on an equal playing ground. Or I'm just being continuously crashed and humiliated just because my units are shit compared to the other players. That's the problem that you are now creating, CA. So, as I said, I'm very much not a fan of this solution. And also, we touched the grind issue. The grind is so fucking slow. And what you're doing with every patch, you're slowing the grind down. The previous patch, which started basing the rewards on time, it didn't increase the rewards with longer battles. It's just the longest battles just give you as much XP as the short battles did before, and the short battles gives you shit XP. So you lower the experience gain that patch. This patch, again, lowers the experience gain because it removes PvE from tier 6 to tier 10. And you're forcing people to grind in PvP, which is arguably a good thing, but that grind is going to be so fucking painful that I see many people quitting the game because they're just getting crashed over and over and over again. The same case will be with tier 5 and tier 6 that are going to get crashed by fully upgraded tier 7s. Right? And tier binding is not really going to save you anyway. Especially with the low population. If you had like super high population, and when people go and queue up with tier 8, they would always get a tier 8 only battle. That would be fine. But that's not going to be the case. If you queue up with tier 8, you're going to face tier 10s. If you do the same thing as in Wargaming and do tier 9 and tier 10 be a tier banding entirely of its own, so like tier 9 units cannot play with tier 8 at all, and tier 10 can't either, obviously, then the problem is just there, but it's just delayed by one tier. Like, as soon as you unlock tier 9, you're getting crushed by tier 10s. So yeah, there's like no saving grace for that, other than just doing like just one tier bands, like separate tier 10 band, separate tier 9 tier band, separate tier 8 tier band, or maybe tier 8 can be matched with tier 7. I think that would be fine, but tier 9 and tier 10 would need to be separate. Otherwise, you're just creating such a discrepancy between units that it's just no longer fun. It's just painful experience of grinding through. That's, for example, why in Wargaming I just used a shit ton of free XP to just skip to tier 10. Because tier 9 was too fucking painful, so was tier 8. And well, maybe you're trying to get money out of your customers, like, hey, spend that gold. Spend that on free or commander XP conversion. Sure. For every player that you'll milk money out of, you'll have 10 players that leaves the game because of that, because he doesn't want to spend money, he doesn't want to grind on lower tier units, then convert the XP, and there's a shit ton of XP as well, and the grind is slower. If at least the grind was faster, that would be much less of an issue. But no, you're just slowing down the grind again, instead of making it faster. And I don't know if Chinese players are that fine with the longer grind. I don't know, Western players in majority aren't. So that's something for you to consider, CA. And well, I did have a separate video about it. Maybe I'll just again separate that, because I think it was like 9 minutes rant in here. So I can just make it a separate video to address this issue, because it is an issue. It is an important issue that we need to talk about, and we need to make CA get things right, because it's just fucking bad. Luckily, that's something they can fix in a hotfix. So I'll leave it up to you players to just make a noise about it And if you make enough noise within the community, on Discord, on Reddit, on YouTube, whatever, maybe CA will listen. Maybe. Well, even if you have a chance of maybe, it is still worth a try, so please do not give up on just a maybe.